So a few days ago, I uploaded a video sharing my concerns with Life by You because it's coming up to the early access release and they still hadn't really shown us like a full proper gameplay experience. They showed us little snippets here and there, but they haven't showed us like a full day in the game. And it wasn't just me who commented on it. I know some other Sims YouTubers. I know Pixelated commented on it. I know a lot of other smaller YouTubers commented on it. Well, a couple of days ago, Life by You actually released a video showing a full day in the game. The video was kind of like a let's play by one of the game developers, Rod Humble. He also mentioned in this video, by the way, that this game has been in development for years. I had no idea. Honestly, like I thought it was only in development for like a few months. Call me naive. That's genuinely what I thought. Firstly, you'll notice that the UI may look a little bit different. I noticed the needs panel at the bottom is like a lighter purple and there's a lot more lighter colors. It seems a lot brighter. At first, he showed off like planting seeds, doing a bit of gardening. He also showed off a delivery person coming to the house in a delivery van and dropping off a package. Such a small thing, but I think it's like a really small, like quirky element of the game. It reminds me of like, you know, the Sims 1, 2, or 3 where you get your mail delivered by the mail carrier. That doesn't really happen in The Sims 4. I kind of miss it. It feels traditional. But really interestingly, okay, we got some more views of the map screen. He first showed us like the top neighborhood here, but then he also scrolled down and he showed us the bottom neighborhood. I actually think the map screen looks quite nice. Honestly, the world is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Firstly, I wonder, why is there a toilet lot here? And why is there a toilet lot here? Like a public bathrooms, some kind of special community lot? Or am I just like interpreting these icons wrong? But you see, like I've always loved like games where you could build cities and things and like plot buildings down. Honestly, I really miss The Sims 3 for that. And I'm so excited to see that in this game. Honestly, any kind of game where you have to build things like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, Sims 3, City Skylines, even like Age of Empires. Like I love just popping little buildings down and making things. So even though the world I think is a good size for an early access world, I do think it's a little bit empty and I am excited to actually just, you know, put some new buildings in there. Although he showed in this driving down for brunch, you can see the car. The car looks a bit weird. If we go back, you can see it kind of clips through the pavement. Also, I think the cars are really small. I don't know why they've literally modeled the cars so tiny because like the people are so much bigger compared to the cars and they're like the cars are so much smaller than the roads. Like why are the cars so small? They need to up the size of the cars to make them more realistic. Although he did say interestingly that if you drink alcohol in the game, yes, you can drink real alcohol in this game, that you can't actually drive if you drink alcohol, which is a funny level of realism. So that's cool that this game actually comes with booze. Love it for not being so family friendly. Anyway, he showed the car like awkwardly reversing into a space. I do think they need to work on the cars and the driving in this game. They really do. But it's a cool level of realism. He also mentioned that when characters go in and out of cars, they don't just like automatically pop up in them, that they actually have to walk into the car for some added realism. I know in The Sims 3 when they had cars, they just kind of like magically teleported into the car. But here you actually can't. You actually have to walk up to it. It's a small but nice detail. Now they showed off as well in the restaurant, as you can see, choosing food. So you go up to the waiting table thingy and you basically just choose what you want to order and you add it to your cart. As well as food, you can also see there's wine, Zinfandel, sake. They got bloody loads of alcohol in here. Mead. That's a little bit medieval, but whatever. We've got that. And then they just show the characters sitting on the restaurant, bug-free. A far cry from Dine Out, a bug-free dining experience. They've showed off a tour bus where tourists will arrive into the town. I have the feeling this is their way of adding like random NPCs into the world, because obviously it's a small world, so there won't be that many people around. So I'm assuming this tour bus thing is to realistically have more people there, even though they don't necessarily live there. That's my guess anyway. But he did say that some of the tourists will actually stay in the hotel in the world. I had no idea this walk came with a hotel. Apparently there is a hotel and they stay in the hotel in the world. Does that mean we're getting hotels in the base game? They haven't showed off this hotel thing. I'm a little bit skeptical because we haven't seen it, but if it did come with hotels, that's really cool. So they also showed off having a conversation with another character, but in doing this, they also revealed some more details. During this, he showed off your character panel. He said that the UI for this would change a lot by the time of release. So this isn't exactly what it will look like, but it shows us the information that you have when you click on them. It will show off their traits. You can see here we've got 7 traits, although there's a little thing here suggesting that you maybe have to scroll down, so maybe there's 8. And we've also got recent events. Is this a memory system? Does recent events mean memories in the game? I'm not too sure. I hope it does come with memories. It's also got a social socials panel with relationships. It shows like a relationship bar, although there's not a romance bar. There's only just one bar. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out in terms of romance versus friends. Although a really interesting thing is that when you click on relationships, it comes with a timeline of like all the different things that you've done. And this is related to the chat by you feature, which is a social media feature in the game where you can basically pick something from your timeline of what you've done in your day and you can share it on chat by you. So he's selected Jane saw Lila relaxing and he's clicking on share on chat by you. I mean, that's a bit of a weird thing to share on social media. Oh, I saw Lila relaxing. Like, why do you make that your Instagram story? That's kind of funny, but I think it's a cool feature. He also showed off, you can see conversation camera in the top right and how if you click on that, it changes the view of going into a conversation and seeing it in more detail. So if you can't be bothered to see it in more detail, you can just see the pop-ups. I genuinely like that it actually comes with like real human words. I think it's nice, but they also showed off the socials panel in the bottom left and you can see it says befriend, flirt, or antagonize. And then when you click on befriend, it has 3 different options here, but then it shows possible outcomes as either friendship, chemistry, or romance, or no effect. And it shows a percentage chance. So it gives the impression that when it comes to relationships, it's a little bit randomized and what you choose is may or may not determine a certain outcome. Honestly though, I'm not too keen on the idea of having romance as a possible outcome. Not all of them are. For example, this second one, you okay, either has friendship plus, friendship minus, or no effect. But I'm not too keen on the idea of having like a general friendly chat turn into a romantic outcome. It just feels a little bit strange to me, but there we go. I feel like that should just be locked behind flirt so it doesn't happen with friendship, especially a 38% chance of it being interpreted romantically. I mean, bloody hell, that's a bit too much. In it, he selected the action of inviting the person out for coffee. They interpreted it as a date apparently, but the conversation kind of changed its direction, so it didn't actually end up in a date. So we don't know if doing that will then proceed to trigger, you know, where they go on a date or not. We're not too sure, but he did show a new relationship panel here that says ask. Now this shows off how certain social interactions are locked away. So it says, I really like you, will you be my girlfriend, relationship level too low. But then if you hover over get to know, it says unlocks when this person likes you. So it seems like you actually have to try with the relationships and social interactions, which honestly I really like. I mean, when you compare it to any Sims game, you can just randomly spam any kind of social interaction and it's fine and it doesn't matter. I actually like that there's a little bit more thought into this and you actually have to be tactful about what you say instead of just randomly spamming for any interactions. I think it's a really cool feature. Now, he also showed off the quest feature, which is something that I've actually been interested in because it kind of seems like aspirations or whims. He showed 2 active quests of a budding gardener planting seeds 4 times and also shop in an online store using the laptop. The shop in the online store quest randomly popped up, so it seems like some of them may be randomly triggered. I honestly hope like they're not all totally random. I hope some of them have direct meaning based on your likes or your personalities, but we don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. He proceeded to show the character turning on the laptop and then clicking on it and clicking shop online. But if we just ignore shop online for the moment, okay, it also says get a bank loan. So apparently in this game you can get loans from the bank. That's quite cool. A little bit random, but that exists if you want it. But going back to shop online, you can see it says shop which website, so you can choose a website to visit. So that's pretty cool. There's actually like loads of websites on there which all sell different things, so that's really interesting. Although I like one of them says human connection. Does that mean you can buy prostitutes in this game? Honestly, I really hope that that's possible because that would be bloody hilarious if they make that possible. But for now, they went to the garden store, unfortunately, and showed off different things that you can buy for your garden. So that's cool. But they also showed off cooking. Now, cooking looks a little bit complicated, but it looks cool. So when you go to cook, it will say recipes and it will say what food you need. Honestly, this game actually looks quite challenging and I actually quite like it. I think we're too used to The Sims 4 being too easy. Honestly, I'm really excited for this to be difficult. I think I'm going to find it frustrating, but in a good way. But anyway, they showed off the cooking with a basic cooking animation. I actually hope that they work on the animations in the game more so for the full release because I do find the animations are a little bit basic, but obviously we can't judge it in early access. Now, on an unrelated note, you may notice in the top right tons of posts. I think these are supposed to be social media posts that maybe your friends have posted, but honestly, this is gonna annoy the hell out of me. I really hope that there's an option to get rid of this and turn it off. These notifications are absolutely traumatizing. The box for it is like so big and intrusive, and they keep popping up all the time in this entire Let's Play. Like, I think the flies want to adopt me, hashtag stink zone. Lovely, bit funny, I guess, but I genuinely don't care. I don't want to see like constant social media posts, so I really hope you can turn that off. Drowning in anxiety, send help, hashtag need a hug. Like, no offense, Terry and Dela Cruz, but like, I could not give less of a shit about your anxiety. Got my own bloody anxiety to deal with. Don't want to have to deal with yours too. He also showed off a character showering. Obviously, there's the blur, but he did mention that you can turn the blur off. So yes, this game most definitely has nudity. I'm excited for that, but I can't really use it because as a content creator, obviously I have to make my content YouTube friendly. So I'm always going to have the blur on, which is so annoying. I feel like a lot of people are going to get horny playing this game, especially if they have a bloody online shopping prostitution service. Bloody hell. Now, he also showed off knitting in the game. So as you can see, it works kind of like the cookie UI menu, although it says that it will be changed. Basically, with like different yarns, you can now knit things. And it also says, note, we will walk you through crafting when the UI has been skinned. That means it sounds like we're going to get like a complex UI crafting system, maybe something like, I don't know, like Animal Crossing or like Minecraft. Guys, I didn't want this video to be a bitch about The Sims 4, but like nifty knitting is in the base game of Life by You. Laundry Day stuff is in the base game. Dine Out is in the base game. Like, they keep showing off lots of features which are premium DLC in this Sims 4, and they're literally base game in this game. It is definitely going to be like good value for money for Simmers, even though the graphic is not as aesthetic and pretty as The Sims 4. Like, it's better value for money. They still haven't said anything about seasons. Honestly, like, I get the impression seasons are not going to come in this game and they're probably going to make a DLC, and I'm really upset by that. Obviously, we don't know, but they haven't mentioned seasons at all. I'm really disappointed that we haven't got confirmation that they're going to be base game. Even if they're not base game and early access, like, I would love for them to just say seasons will be base game in the final version of it. It would make me very happy anyway. Now, he also showed off another thing in the Let's Play, that when you go to sleep for the night, it gives you a daily summary showing your bank balance, money earned, money spent. It shows you your new like skills that you've gained. It shows any quests that you finish, any like relationship things. So it basically gives you a breakdown. I think it's a cool feature, actually. Not something that I ever would have thought about. Almost reminds me of Stardew Valley in that way. In terms of other things, okay, he showed off at the start. I should have mentioned this at the start, but basically at the start of his video, he showed off the household creator. Honestly, I keep want to call them Sims, but they call them humans. I hate the fact that they're calling these characters humans. Anyway, he showed off this screen here. They still haven't really mentioned what this furniture thing is about, like furnishings in the home, like whether or not it means the home also populates with luxury furnishings or something else. I don't know. They haven't mentioned at all what this really is, but something more interesting is I noticed it says business work from home. In other words, unemployed, or like if you're housewife, house husband. But underneath it, it says universal basic income. So this game is going to come with universal credit, it seems. Having social welfare benefits is honestly a really cool idea. I actually really like it. So I'm glad that that's being included. Although taking a look at this, honestly, I'm still just, do you know what? The graphics is growing on me. It's 100% growing on me, but I feel like it's very all or nothing. Like if you look at this character here, she looks a little bit, you know, plain. Or like when you look at this one, he looks like his face looks so weird with the lighting and shadows. Like it doesn't look right. If you look at a character like this, like I think he looks completely fine. Like he looks visually different to the other ones that they showed off. This one too, like this bloke, he looks actually good. The way he looks, like his skin texture and everything looks really, really good. And I'd be happy if all the characters look like this. But then like this one, she looks really uncanny valley. Like it seems like it's just so inconsistent with the character design. I definitely feel like it needs a lot more work. But in general, I am very very much glad that we've actually got more of a sneak peek in terms of how a day in the life of the game looks. They still haven't shown off a day in the life in terms of like going to work. So I'm still not 100% convinced if it's ready for early access release. Also, like, just to reiterate, like, can we pause please? Look how tiny this car is here compared to the road. Why are the cars so weirdly small? It doesn't make any sense. Bloody hell. Life by You, please sort your bloody cars out. Also, another thing that they haven't mentioned is world restrictions. So normally in games like this where they have big open worlds, they normally have something called like a prop count, which is basically how many things you can place down before the game says nope, no more. And they normally do this for performance purposes. They haven't said if there's like a maximum number of buildings that you can place down in a particular world. So I would like to know if that's a thing. Obviously having an ambitious open world is great, but it does have to perform well. Like, it does have to work. The game can't be laggy. So still some things I'm a little bit skeptical about, but for the most part, guys, I think this little gameplay teaser's reignited my spark for the game. Should you buy it in early access, you can either get it now if you're impatient and you're really, really passionate about the game, or you can wait for YouTubers and other content creators such as myself to review the early access first. That's entirely your choice. I will be getting it in early access, so I will be reviewing it for you guys. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and watch the next video here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.